Up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So let's get into this clip of Ashley Dalton with a woman here. And then you can see in the caption, average woman wants the benefits of an escort without sex. She wants 20K from the man she's dating.
Help me understand.
Let's get into it. Thank y'all for watching.
25. I live in Vegas. I'm already graduated college. I have a business. I do wedding planning. But it seems like my dating life is not it. I've dated for money. I've dated for love. I am looking for an investor. How do I approach them with that?
So you want to approach the guy you're dating about investing in your business?
Right. Hey, I need, 20,000.
Last guy that you were dating, you guys went on a couple of dates. He flew you out the country because I'm assuming he was way older than you were, right?
It was like maybe 40.
So did he already approach you with what do you need?
Right. It was like a small sum. When it comes to big money like that, they're like, what is that for? What's my return gonna be?
I don't really want to talk about this on live if I'm being honest. That's more of a one-on-one call kind of thing. There's just things have to look a certain way if you're asking guys for that. And they gotta be a fugly duck or you're like 10 times prettier than they are. If they're asking what are they getting, then it becomes a little transactional. Fun.
I've never really done that before. I get what I need. I don't have to do anything.
So you haven't slept with any of these men. That's what you're telling me.
Right.
Okay, and how much did he give you last time and you didn't have to sleep with him?
2,000.
2,000. For 20,000, if you're his Tyra Banks in her prime, sure. I'm assuming he will do it, but he's still going to want something.
And that's the part. That is the part. And I think y'all, look, I don't know what box of rocks you're trying to sell to somebody and pass them off as diamonds, but we all know this. Cat is up for sale. Y'all are selling cat and y'all just need to stop lying. Y'all need to stop lying because even the pretty girls got to give up something at some point. And I'm not even saying she's not pretty. You want 20 bands from this man and you think you're not going to toot nothing up in the air?
Oh my God.
You delusional.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
There's a couple of factors here. Okay. There's some guys who will give a girl 10,000 and some guys who will give a girl 20K. Now, there's girls who are getting that kind of money, but from the hair follicle to the toenail, everything is on point. There's nothing out of place. Hair is always laid. Makeup is always done. Body is always tea, and the foot is always in a shoe. Everything tells a story. I'm not saying it's not possible for her. I know for sure that those type of guys expect something. But sometimes what I think the issue is that a lot of the everyday girls, right, are more natural, don't need to be super beat, hair don't need to be super laid, right? But you can't just be everyday girl, girly pop, girl next door pop, and we're not getting in our glamour bag. Okay? And you have to also say, what am I willing to do? Because he's not coming up off this money for nothing.
Nope.
This is no shade. This is no shade. What I'm about to say is no shade. But if the escort girlies who are bad, who know the game, not only do they have the look, the hairpiece, the makeup, the body, the feet, the shoe to match in the game, if they got to lay down, what makes you think you don't?
And that's the part. And that is the part that they lie to y'all about, okay? We know that there are women who got to work a little harder to get certain things out of men. We know that. Let's stop acting delusional. And basically what Ashley is saying, look, this is no shade against you, but here you are looking very average, and there's nothing wrong with average. Most of us are average. But here you are, and you don't present with a certain type of aesthetic, and I'm not even saying that you have to. But if you are saying that you want money for whatever reason out of a man and he's going to offer it to you, don't be foolish to believe and think that you're just going to waltz in with this man and he's going to hand you over an envelope without you having to do something strange for some change. And if anybody tells you otherwise, and especially if you don't have a certain type of aesthetic, and I'm not saying that you have to, but if you don't have a certain type of a look, and even the women with the look have to do it. So you are not exempt from that just because you believe that this man is going to give you something, or you might take his word. Of course, he may not out the gate say it, but you are grown and so is he. The same thing with the getting flew out. I don't believe in people trying to force you to do anything, but don't be a fool. You have to be delusional if you think that a man is going to fly you out, all expenses paid, and then he's not expecting anything in exchange for him covering all of your travel, your lodging, all of that, even if you don't stay in the same hotel as him or wherever you guys stay. You gonna have to come up off some cat. If you are a person who genuinely, maybe you are naive to this. Maybe you really think this man is going to give you something for, whatever you say you're going to need it for. I don't care if you want it for a shopping spree. I don't care if you need it for a down payment for some classes or a car. You better expect that this is an escort situation. And Ashley is right.
You giving up something. You giving up one of the holes.
Right.
And most of them have you beat in the looks department. You don't want to stick around and bob and weave and finesse and stroke his ego, and you straight up like this.
Right.
You're going to have to give up a hole.
And you can do all those things and you can still be expected to give up a hole. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't like Ashley's take. If you want a man of a certain type of caliber, if you want a man that spins, if he's a trick or whatever y'all say y'all want, then nothing in this life is free. So beware the free lunch. I think that she's a little naive to believe that she can go into this situation with this man, hand out, and act as though she's not going to have to be with her knees on the floor. I'm just saying. So let's see what Ashley has to say, or over here in her comment section, let's see what y'all have to say. So here someone says, I didn't say you were desperate, baby girl. So I guess the girl was commenting. So she added her. She said, I didn't say you were desperate, baby girl. If you knew how to get to 20K, you would have never come to me asking in the first place. Like I said in the extended clip on YouTube, the girls who are really getting it aren't on my live asking. And that's all she's saying. She's saying the girls who are getting it, they already know what the deal is. And they may not have to do as much to get it, but they doing something. And basically what she is saying is, if you do not have your aesthetics in line, and she's not saying you have to look like a beauty queen, but you're going to have to play the part. Therefore, if you don't want to play the part and you want to present yourself as, for lack of better terms, plain Jane, which I don't think there's anything wrong with being a plain Jane. But if you want to look a certain type of way, opposite of what the men who typically will spend that type of money look like, then you better believe you're going to have to come off of something a lot faster than women who are a little more put together. I'm not saying that I'm in agreement with any of this, but I understand. So here someone says, girl, get a grant. Oh my God. Here someone says, laughing my A off. Ash said, you're going to have to give up a hole. And why would she come on here and lie to you guys? What's the benefit of her lying to you about that? I respect the fact that she's truthful. Whether you agree with that lifestyle or not, there's no lie in that. Okay. Here someone says, I don't know. She's in Vegas. She might get it. I'd keep asking if I was her. What's the response here? Someone says, let's be real. She's going to have to give up all 3 holes plus more.
Oh my God.
And here someone says, unless she becomes a dime, she can charge that to make them do her dishes. All right. So here someone says, I miss Kevin Samuels. Okay. I'm going to like that comment. Here someone says, I'm sorry if she did put some makeup on. Someone here says, I'm sorry if she did put makeup on, she will be bad. Here someone says, the way some of these girls casually think they can just use a man for his money is so disgusting and desperate. Like you don't have anything going on for yourself. And to casually say, I'll just get a guy to invest into me, like you're asking your dad for $20, shaking my head. Men with money can spot a user a mile away, which is why most of the girls end up with nothing or the one being used. They know that you need them and they will treat you as such. And yes, the average looking girl isn't getting the guys who got it. They will get the guys who are going to make sure you remember they are the reason you are even on. Don't succumb to this. Work on yourself, your bag, and the right guy will find you, not you finding him. And I didn't think there are some good points that he made here in this comment, right? Because we like to talk a lot about how, oh, we're getting to the bag, we are most educated, we're making more money than men. But this is a actual, situation where we have a 25-year-old young lady who was saying that she wants 20K out of a man. Right. And so I'm assuming if she's a single woman, I didn't hear anything about her having children. So, I'm not saying she should just have $20,000 saved up, but to be on here talking about asking random men or this man for money, I do think that's desperate. And especially when you don't want to play the game and you are coming into this as if you don't have to, and you are approaching this situation as if you don't have to give up anything in exchange for the money, right? You can't go into anyone's bank and say, oh, I just need $20,000, and they're just going to give it to you on the merit of you being who you are. That's not how it works. So you are going to have to give up something, right? What did somebody say here in response to this comment? Someone here says nobody at all. So this is a man saying it. And then here someone says exactly. Here someone says spot on. I hope she sees this and take your comment serious. This is real advice. And I agree. You just want this man for his money. Again, if that's your lifestyle and that's how you get down, that's your business. But why not just work for it and get your money? And if it's something that you don't have the $20,000 for, then maybe it's something that you should not be going into to begin with, right? Unless you are okay with doing those things required to get that money, and you can sleep well at night with yourself, you're not just going to get that money out of no man. Yes, there are women who can get money, but even if they're getting money out of men, they're giving up something, which requires you to be on your back. Here someone says, some people really need to get off the internet and go outside. Which man is giving up 20K for nothing in return with no questions asked? Girl, please. Here someone says, she asking for instructions to sell cat.
Sensational.
This is definitely embarrassing and desperate, but apparently she appears to be naive. If this is a true business transaction, then you all need to come with some type of terms. It gets risky when you are trying to mix dating with business. In the event that things go bad between the two of you, where does that leave you on the hook in terms of the money? Is this a loan? Is this a gift? Is this an investment? And what are the terms? And in this case, the terms sound like it's going to require you to be on your back. So are you willing to participate in that? Someone says, face ain't giving 20K. Here someone says, oh, Lord. Someone here says, girl, if you don't attend a business seminar, bottom line is this. If you don't want to hear the truth, you want a certain type of man and you want to live a certain type of lifestyle, and that is going to require you to do certain things. We're talking about getting money out of a man, especially when you are average looking. You are going to have to do something, right? Because even the pretty women or the more attractive women are doing something for the money, right? They may not have to do everything up front, right? But they're going to be doing something. And to think that you are exempt from doing something with a man, right? You are getting folded. You're going to have to get folded up like a pretzel if you want 20 bands out of a man, right? So like a lot of the women here stated in the comment section, girl, get you a business plan together. Go to someone's small business group, networking event, something, or use your education, get some employment, save up some money until you can fully fund your entrepreneurial dreams. You have to think about, is your integrity worth everything that's going to come with that? Because all money ain't good money. And so if you're going into this type of lifestyle, dealing with men, and you want men to trick on you, you are going to have to perform some tricks. And that's just what it is, right? No matter what level of attractiveness you are. But let me know down in the comments. Do y'all think Ashley was reaching? Y'all think she was a little too harsh? Or was she really telling her the truth? I don't want young ladies to be misled. And I I appreciate and I respect the fact that Ashley was honest with her. How you choose to live your life and get said money, that's your business, but don't leave out the important part. Whether you are a midnight ballerina or you doing something beyond that, right? Whether you getting flued out and you getting, peed on, whatever. But the bottom line is you are going to have to do something. And Ashley is saying, look, the less that you present yourself well, the more you're going to have to do. So are you willing to take that challenge, right? But let me know what y'all think about this down in the comment section, y'all. Like the video, share, as well as subscribe to the channel. Respectfully comment down below. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.